Guess what didn't work? 911. All the phone lines were down.
Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire? Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Rory Sykes did not get himself in the wrong place.
They released that.
Rory Sykes did not put himself in the wrong place, you psychopathic monster.
So here we are on day 7 of the Palisades fire. 7 days of anguish, 7 days of heartbreak, 7 days of incomprehensible Democrat incompetency. At the last count, or what I just reviewed, they have this fire at 17% containment. And it's sad, you know, each day we go on, there's another heartbreaking story that's coming out of California. You know, as a Texan, I really continue to be at a loss at understanding why Californians, really for decades now, vote for the same destruction over and over and over, with California being a supermajority Democrat state. The Democrats almost completely control the state. And though in their madness, these people continue to vote for the incompetency of these Democrat leaders, you still can't escape the pure evil that you're seeing from the malpractice of these Democrats. You know, what we're seeing is terrifying, heartbreaking, and really unforgivable. And unless the Californians change, you know, this is really going to continue. But anyway, let's jump into the story here at the right angle. Let's get into it.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire? Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
So this is an actual human being with actual responsibilities for protecting actual life in a city of 10 million. Kristen Larson, who is the Equity and Human Resources Deputy Chief, making $400,000 a year, which, by the way, is the same as the President of the United States. She said this: how can you be so callous? You know, some deputy chief in there for equity and inclusion. I think we need to see more about who she's actually talking about, though.
It was my baby, and he died needlessly.
His mum Shelley revealing the litany of letdowns as the Palisades fire approached.
Guess what didn't work? 911. All the phone lines were down.
Rory, who was born blind with cerebral palsy, lived in a self-contained cottage on the property. Embers were raining down. Shelley's hoses ran dry.
He said, "Mom, leave me." And no, Mom can leave the kid. And I've got a broken arm. I couldn't lift him. I couldn't move him. When the fire department brought me back, his cottage was burnt to the ground.
It's unimaginable the pain this woman has gone through. What she saw. Think about it for a second. Put yourself in her shoes. She's maybe 50 to 60 years old, has a blind son with cerebral palsy, who's in the back house. There's fire all around. You're trying to grab the hose to put the fire out. The hose runs out of water. You're frantic. You're seeking for help. You're looking anywhere you can. You run down and try to hunt down firefighters, anyone that can help you. You come back after your son told you to leave him to die. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the feeling? A guy who our deputy chief says shouldn't have been there. Let's listen to this excerpt excerpt from Tim Pool, who says it a lot better than I can.
My mom said, Tim, why don't you talk about Republicans? I said, okay. What do you want me to say about Republicans? She's like, well, they do bad things. And I said, oh, okay. Like, what do you think they're doing that's bad? She's like, well, I don't know, but all you're talking about is Democrats. And I said, maybe it's because the Republicans are like a lukewarm nothing party and the Democrats are evil. And she argued with me and I was like, you send me anything you see any day about Republicans doing something. And if I agree, I will absolutely criticize the Republicans. I'm not a fan of the Republican Party. And I'm reminded of this story. It reminds me of that moment. So for those of you out there that are watching this and who have family and friends who are like, Tim's biased, I'm going to explain to you very simply the core of what makes me despise the Democratic Party, progressives, wokeness, etc. It's a story here from NBC News. Take a look. Former child star Rory Sykes dies in California wildfires as mom tried to save him. This is a hard story to read. Former child star Rory Sykes, who was born blind and had cerebral palsy, died Wednesday in the wildfires after his mother said she was unable to save him from their home. See, the story is her arm was broken and she couldn't get the cinders off the building. She could not carry him out of the building and he was having trouble walking. He didn't want to leave. He was struggling. So she went to the fire department, asked them for help. He said, Mom, leave me. No mom could leave their kid. Shelley Sykes told Australian outlet 10 News she has a broken arm and could not lift or move her son. Shelley Sykes said she drove to the local fire department for help, but they told her they did not have any water. She said when the fire department brought her back, Rory's cottage was burnt to the ground. You understand the implications about what happened to Rory. He was trapped. The mother couldn't lift him, and he died in that fire. And now I want you to watch this video from Larson. She's I believe, the head of diversity for the LA Fire Department. I'm sorry, let me get the audio.
Responds to your house, you want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Rory Sykes did not get himself in the wrong place.
They released that.
Rory Sykes did not put himself in the wrong place, you psychopathic monster. The requirement for the fire department is to be able to lift those who cannot lift themselves to save them from burning buildings. It's no one's fault. I don't care if you dropped a cigarette and your house started on fire. I don't care if you put a teddy bear next to a bunch of candles and your house started on fire. We will save you. And in this instance, a man with cerebral palsy who was blind and whose mother desperately tried to carry him out of a building she was terrified would burn down, was unable to do so, but he got himself in the wrong place. These are the people they hire. They're disgusting monsters that would leave you to burn to death so long as they get a salary to push their crackpot religion. That's why I despise these people. I hope that's clear. Look. That man has died because they are so insistent on hiring a DEI fire diversity officer who has the nerve to say, if you are stuck in a fire, you got yourself in the wrong place. Tell that to the disabled man with cerebral palsy. It's his fault. That's what they said. Screw these people.
We cling to morals. We cling to the goodness of people. We cling to what is most good and try to lead by example in order to lift and maintain that good. But there are people who only want to lift and maintain their ideas, only lift and maintain their goals and wins in life at the cost of everyone else. I think the question today is, who do we want to be as a people? Do we want to be the people who callously meet quotas of diversity, who throw caution to the wind at the safety of the larger whole, at expense or at the expense of what else is all right in the world? Or do we want to be the people who strive for a more perfect world, which is built upon honest labors, built upon good thinking, and leads us to a more just world? I think we are seeing that Unfortunately, that remains a question till this day that is still unanswered. But anyway, that's been all for The Right Angle. I'll see you on the next one.